Welcome back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS soaps, both the young and the restless, and the bold and the beautiful. And this is your bold and the beautiful recap for September 21st. And today we see Bill has lunch with Wyatt and Liam talking about Ridge. Hope is stunned by the story of Brooke regarding Steffi, and Taylor actually surprises Brooke with a revelation. So before we jump into this, take a second to make sure you subscribe to the channel for all updates, and please don't forget to like and share. So we're now over at Brooke's place, and she's leaving Ridge this message on the phone saying how she missed him last night and he left early this morning. Hope is creeping in as she gets off the phone and asks what happened. Brooke was like, Steffi happened. Now Hope asks, well, what does that mean? Well, Brooke kind of relayed that he didn't come home in time for them to be together, so she couldn't do her little romantic night. And he was over at Steffi's, and she made sure he didn't come home until very, very late. Now, over at the Cliff House, Steffi is admiring Thomas's and Zenday's collaborative design and said that, they need to show this to Hope. Now, she manages to turn this whole conversation over to her mom and dad needing to reunite, as Taylor walks into the room and complains, Steffi, and then all of them go over how great a place the family is in these days, and Steffi was like, all they need is for Ridge to leave Brooke and come home to her mom, and Taylor looks absolutely exasperated. So now over at Il Giardino, Wyatt and Liam want to know what Bill has summoned them for. He claims, I just want to have some lunch with my boys. Give me a kiss. And then they kind of cringe and they groan and moan about it. And Liam was like, okay, let me get this straight. You just want to catch up? And he thinks that they should start by discussing the fact that Ridge walked in on Bill and Brooke in each other's arms. And this is when we see Wyatt kind of lean forward eagerly to know the details. And then Bill was like, wait a minute, this is how rumors get started. He insists that nothing was going on. Ridge just walked in and made something out of nothing like always because he's riddled with insecurities. And Liam was like, you should have known that would have been triggering for him. And Bill complained about everyone using that word as being triggered as the go-to word. But then he started talking about how Brooke, why she puts up with that poser clown I'll never understand. He wants to grab him by the neck and remind him how lucky he is to have Brooke. Now, Bill feels he's an uptight waste of skin, and he'd like to know what she even see in him. Liam says to his father that he really don't get the family man side of him, and the love that Brooke and him have undeniably is because he's the one that's seeing it up close. Liam knows that obviously too that there's outside forces working against them. However, Steffi and Thomas, for example. Now, Wyatt and Bill think grown kids should stay out of their parents' business. As they say, y'all stay out of grown folks' business. Now, Liam complains about Hope going to the Forrester dinners to which he's not invited. It's classic Thomas, but she doesn't see it that way. He thinks he's getting into her head, and she keeps getting distracted by what she sees when she go over there, like with Taylor and Ridge. Now, Hope doesn't know how much to tell Brooke, as she's afraid of ratcheting up the whole Logan versus Forrester war again. Bill doesn't think, Brooke will let anyone undermine her marriage. Now, back over at Brooke's place, she's recounting to Hope how Steffi answers Ridge's phone and refused to disturb him. Now, when she reminded her that I'm his wife, she actually said not for long, as we remembered in yesterday's episode, and Hope is floored. Now, she asked if her mother called back, and she was like, I don't see the point. And by the time he got home, I was already asleep. Hope started ranting that Steffi has no right to interfere and keep her from speaking to her husband. Now, Steffi and Taylor has gone too far, according to Hope, and Brooke agreed that she thinks it's time to have a conversation with Taylor, and Hope thinks that she needs to take some time to have a word with Steffi about her blatant campaign to end her mom's marriage. So, back over at the Cliff House, Taylor tells Steffi that wishing for the end of their father's marriage should never come out of their their mouths. Zende was like, okay, this is my cue to leave again because, he didn't want to be in the middle of that conversation. Now, Taylor asked Thomas and Steffi to focus on something other than them. Leave us out of your mouth. But Steffi makes her case all over again. And again, Taylor's exasperated but still loves them. Now, later, Thomas was talking to Taylor about taking Douglas to the skate park and spending so much time with him. Now, he thanks her for support, and they, embrace, and he heads out, and somebody shows up. Do they lock doors on this show? Brooke arrives. Thomas was like, I need you two to play nice, and then he actually leaves. Now, Brooke informs Taylor that her daughter is out of control. I expect you to put a stop to Steffi. Now, Taylor was like, why are you coming after Steffi? Now, Brooke insists it's the other way around. It's great that you got Finn back. All of y'all are happy. It's all precious. But wedding vows are precious too, Taylor. This is Brooke. Now, she's trying to sabotage my marriage. And Taylor was like, every kid wants their parents back together. Brooke was like, these are not little kids. These folks are adults. Steffi got a family of her own. And then Taylor surprises Brooke by saying, you know what? I just told Steffi and Thomas that they need to stop meddling. Brooke explains what happened last night when Steffi intercepted her call. And Taylor kind of cringed like, oh God, I don't want to believe that. Brooke declares that she's playing gatekeeper. And Brooke reminds Taylor her daughter is doing all of this in hopes that her marriage will fall apart so you can step in. Now, over at Forrester, Steffi is going over designs with Paris. And we haven't seen Paris for a minute, but it's nice to see her back on canvas. Well, while they're having a discussion over the designs, Hope comes in and asks to speak to Steffi alone. Paris files out. It's her cue to leave again, too, in this situation. And Steffi says dismissing her was inappropriate. Hope counters back like, kind of like you trying to sabotage my mom's marriage to Ridge. And she questions Steffi screening her dad's calls and complains that he's at her house more than he's at home, which is all by design, which honestly Ridge chooses to be there. Okay, he's not hostage. Now, Hope goes into this whole thing about what happened to bringing the family together and putting the kids first. Steffi was like, this is about my parents. This is not about the grandkids and the future that was stolen from them. Her father is starting to see what it would be like to be in a drama-free with no pain, just love situation. And she also brought up this whole thing about how her grandmother, Stephanie, wanted that for him all along, and because she's no longer here to fight that battle, I am. And she declares it's time for my father to come back to his real family, the Forresters. Okay, so there you have it, your bold and the beautiful recap for Wednesday, September 21st, 2022. If you haven't checked out the Young and the Restless recap for today, it's also been uploaded to the channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye.